to start out with a very short reading from Heart Thoughts by Louise Hay. Just a little quote from her on deserving the good in our lives. Some of the things you believe were never true. They were someone else's fears. Give yourself a chance to examine your thoughts. Change those that are negative. You are deserving. So I kind of focused on that reading this evening because oftentimes we focus on, those things that are not positive, whether it's about the way that we look, the way that we show up for work, maybe the way that we parent, all different types of ways that we think that we're not enough, or we think that we lack in some area. And the only way to change that is to have a different thought about it and to have an understanding that we are enough, that we are worthy, that we are flexible. And so as we move into our practice tonight, to create some awareness around where we're at on our mats. And that the way that I form a pose doesn't mean it has to be the way that you form a pose. And maybe I'm going to do a pose that doesn't speak to your body, that your body says, no, that's not for us tonight. And listening to that and honoring it and saying that's enough. That's perfectly where I need to be in this moment. So just gently close the eyes. And then come into your breath, letting the breath be long and deep. Being reminded that the breath is the foundation of every practice. It's what creates that unity of body, mind, and spirit. Which brings us into those places of being enough, having what we need right now in this moment. And just softly let the hands rest on the knees and the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Feel the alignment of the spine from the tailbone to the top of the head. Notice the weight of the sitting bones on your mat and the connection of your legs wherever they're resting. Knowing that Mother Earth is here to support, to hold us steady, and to nurture our practice. And take a deep breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one, inhale. Exhale, release. And then breathe in. And at the exhale, the chin drops down towards the chest, creating a stretch in the back of the neck. Letting go of any tension that might still be resting there from the day. Letting go of any negative thought that might be trapped between the shoulder blades. And gently inhale, right ear over to right shoulder. And exhale, drop the chin down. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. And exhale, dropping it down. Inhale, right. Exhale, release. Inhale up. And exhale. This is to do 2 more on each side. Use your breath to guide you. Last one, inhale up. And exhale, drop the chin back down towards the chest. Inhale, lift the chin, looking straight ahead. You can open the eyes if that feels right. And then just gently look over your right shoulder. Taking a moment to wake up our brain and still stretch a little bit into the neck. And then come back to center and look over the other side. And then come all the way back to center. Switch out the feet if you like, just to reverse the blood flow. We're going to take hands on knees and come into a bit of a cat-cow that organically begins to move into a circle. So taking an inhale, coming forward into that cow pose, lifting up through the chest, a little bit of a arch in the low back. Hopefully turning will help you see that a little better. So coming forward. And then exhale, round it out into that cat, pushing back towards the tailbone and arching through the shoulders. And then inhale, coming forward into that cow. And then exhale into that cat. And then inhale, coming forward into cow. And exhale, begin to circle to the right. And exhale into the cat. Inhale, coming forward through the left. And exhale around the right to the back. So just coming into this organic flow for the spine and the hips. Just circling out some of that tension in both areas. Remember to breathe. Maybe relax the jaw. And then the next time you come forward at that inhale, stop there and then exhale, reverse, coming to the left and into your cat pose. Inhale right and coming up into that cow. So just reversing the action. Let's do one more set coming in around. And then coming back up into a neutral spine. Take the legs, stretch them out in front of you, shake them out. And you have a couple of options. We're going to come into that Paschimottanasana, and there's a couple of ways to do that. You can take your scarf, your towel, your strap, and Put it underneath the feet. And grab a hold of both sides of the strap, flex the feet, and come into this stretch. The other option is, if you don't have a strap available, is just to gently begin to reach forward with the hands for your tops of your thighs or for your calves, and just come into the stretch that way. So see what works best for you. And knowing that whatever might be best for me may be different for you, and that it's okay. And that we're still enough, and that we're still getting what we need for our bodies. Check in with the knees, make sure you're not hyperextending, because if you do, you can get some pain in the muscles near the knee, which I discovered last night. I had hyperextended my knee on the left side while I was watching television, and it finally feels better now, but it hurt for a good 12 hours. So just little things can remind us that we have to take care of ourselves, right? To be conscious and aware. There's also a nice stretch for the arms. And then just gently release the left foot out of the strap. Place the right foot out to the side. You can grab a hold of both straps with the right hand. The other option is, of course, just letting the hand rest on the upper thigh or on the shin. We'll take the left arm up and reach over to the right, stretch through that side body. And the strap, as you can see, just helps me have a little bit better traction, helps me flex my foot. And then just circle that hand around, grab a hold of those straps. And now if you want to fold forward, go for it. And always reach for the bottom of the foot or for the ankle or for the shin. Let's see what comes available to you. And then just gently come all the way back up, and we'll switch sides. Stretch the left leg out. Place that strap around that left foot, right foot comes in. Sitting up tall. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, come on over to the side. And then circle that hand around, grab a hold of both straps, maybe fold forward. Then come all the way back up. You can set the strap to the side for now. Come back into the seated position. We're going to take our shoulders and shrug them up towards the ears and just gently roll them forward. So creating some space between the shoulder blades. And also rolling out that ball and socket joint. We hold a lot of tension in our shoulders. Kind of worked out our neck. Now we're getting into this other space that holds on to that tension and stress. And then the next time the shoulders come up, squeeze them together. Just roll it out. Nice. Creates a little bit of a heart opener here. You might feel a little vulnerable. maybe even a little awkward. Just wringing out that space between the shoulder blades. Let's do one more. Nice. Come back to center, interlace hands, gently push the arms out in front of you. Bring arms overhead, stretch them up as high as you can. And then come on over to the right. Inhale back to center and come on over to the left. Come back up to center. Let the hands float down and around behind the back. Gently interlace the fingers behind you, and you can leave arms down or you can extend them a little bit behind you, creating again space in the heart center and squeezing into those shoulder blades. And then release that. Shake out the hands. Take an inhale, lift arms and hands up overhead. Exhale, reach them out in front of you. Little stretch here. Gaze can be down. Let the neck be long. Maybe the forearms come down. It's a nice low back stretch. And then just take your time, come all the way back up and gently roll forward, coming into a tabletop position just for a moment. We're going to bring the big toes together. Let the knees come to the outside edges of the mat. Sink your hips back and stretch arms out in front of you. Forehead comes down. Child's pose. Let the belly become soft. Release that low back. We'll take a couple of breaths here. And just walk hands over to the right, getting into a little C shape through your left side body. Even grab a hold of that left wrist with the right hand, getting a little bit deeper into the stretch. And then walk hands back to center and over to the left, grabbing a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Keep the forehead grounded with your mat. And then walk hands back to center. And just gently begin to come up onto the forearms. Stretch the knees back a little bit. Come up on the hands, and we'll take an inhale, bring right arm up overhead, and exhale, thread the needle, bring that right arm underneath the left armpit, stretch the left arm out in front of you, a little thread the needle pose. Hips are up a little ways. Super great shoulder stretch. And then gently slide that left hand back, lift the right arm back up high. And exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread that arm underneath the right armpit. Stretch the right arm out. Nice long reach here. Maybe roll a little bit onto that left shoulder. Or you can roll the other direction to see where the stretch wants to land. Remember to breathe and relax your jaw. And then just slide the right hand back, left arm comes back up high, big stretch. And exhale, hands come back down, coming back into our tabletop position. So gaze is down, shoulders are stacked over the wrists, spread the fingers wide, create a nice foundation. Press into the tops of the feet. Knees are aligned underneath the hips. We're going to find that cat and cow again, taking an inhale. Gaze comes up into that cow pose. And then exhale, round it out into that cat. Let the head drop down, bring a little bit of an inversion. Inhale, lift the gaze, cat. And exhale, round it out. Whoops, I'm reversing myself. Round it out into cat. And then inhale into that cow. There we go, drop the belly. And exhale, cat. Let's do two more. So our last one, inhaling into cow and exhale, cat. Come back to center. We're going to take an inhale, lift right knee up. So bending the knee, the right foot is almost as if it were stomping on the ceiling. Make sure the weight is even between the hands. So we'll take an inhale here. And then exhale, draw that knee in up close to the nose. It does not have to touch. Keep that foot flexed. Inhale, lift the leg back up. And exhale, draw that knee in. Inhale, lift. And last one here, exhale, draw that knee in. And inhale, lift. And exhale, bring the knee back down to center. And just sit back towards the heels, take a little break, rest the hands, maybe tops of hands pressing into the tops of the thighs, create a little stretch for the wrist. Yeah. And then come back to center, back into our tabletop. And we'll move into the left side. So flex that left foot, lift to the leg, bending at the knee. Taking that inhale, create the even weight between the hands. Exhale, draw the knee towards the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw it all in. We'll do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw that knee all the way in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring that knee back down. All right, we've had a little prep now for waking up our hips and finding some stretch in these spaces. This time, take an inhale, lifting that right leg up, bending at the knee. And maybe taking the left arm out in front of us. So creating a little diagonal balance. And you can stay right here, or you can take that left hand around and grab a hold of the right foot and get a little more extension into the low back. And then just take your time, release, stretch the arm out long. And then exhale, bring the hand down, bring the leg down. Nice. And we'll move into the other side. So left leg comes up, right arm comes out, and you can stay right here. Feeling this little sort of awkward balance. And then if you're up for it, reach around behind you, grab a hold of the left foot or ankle with the right hand. A little more of a stretch also in that quad. And then just gently release, stretch the right arm out long. Bring the right hand down, bring the left knee down. And just walk the hands forward. Come all the way down under the belly, the chest, the chin, forehead comes down, hands underneath the shoulders. Zip the feet together. Little belly asana. At your next inhale, press into the tops of the feet and lift the chin and the chest. Keep your gaze down, baby cobra. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring that forehead back down. Take a breath here. And then inhale, lift chin and chest again. Gazes down. Stay with the breath. And take an inhale. Exhale, bring that forehead down. Rolling shoulders away from the ears. Take another inhale, lift chin and chest. Cobra, and then just let the forearms come forward and come up a little bit higher. Gazes down. Sphinx pose, press again into the tops of the feet. Maybe the knees lift off the mat. Really nice reverse back bends to help straighten our spines. Take in another breath. And at the exhale, begin to bring the forehead down, bring the hands underneath the shoulders and gently push yourself back up into that tabletop. And sink back towards the heels, keeping maybe the knees together this time, finding child's pose, an alternative position. You can have arms in front of you or float them behind you. Palms can be up or down. Breathe down into that belly, let it relax. Release your low back. And if you have the arms floated behind you, you can stay right where you are, or you can come up onto the top part of the crown of the head, coming into a little rabbit pose. Just be mindful of your neck. You can come out of it at any time, coming back into the child's pose. And then just take your time, come all the way back up. Swing the legs around, come into a seated position. Bringing the toes out in front of you, legs are down. And we'll just take our time floating all the way back. Maybe keep your strap handy, maybe a pillow handy for when we get closer to our Shavasana. We're getting close. So just let it float all the way back. Getting a little bit forward. Taking your time, just one vertebrae at a time. Be mindful of your neck. Floating arms down and head down. Bring the arms up overhead, big stretch. Pointing through those toes. And let the arms float down to the sides. And you can grab your strap here, or your towel, or whatever you've got. And if you don't have that, I'll cue you for that too. But we're just going to draw our right knee in. And you can bring your hands or hand behind the right thigh. And bend that knee again. So coming into that same position that we were in when we were in tabletop, but now we're on our backs. And you can stay right here if you like, holding on to the back of the thigh. Or you can grab a hold of your strap and put it on the bottom of the foot and do it this way. So just a couple of options. We always modify as needed. So again, if you don't have the strap, you can use the hands behind the hamstring. This is called a half stair pose. We're getting a nice stretch now into the hip and a little bit for the low back. And you can move that knee a little bit more towards the inner part of your rib cage, the right side of the rib cage, or the armpit. Make sure that foot is flat. Couple breaths here. And just bend your left leg, bringing the foot flat on your mat, and place that right ankle onto the left thigh. You can take your strap off if you have it on your foot at this point and gently push on the inside of your right thigh with your right hand. If you like, this is a supine half pigeon. Check in with your low spine, and if you need to press that spine down into the earth a little bit more, do that. And you can stay right here. If you want to extend this a little deeper, you can reach through that figure 4 and grab the back of the left thigh and go a little bit deeper. Going to straighten the left leg, bringing some of the fluid from that foot and ankle down to the heart. And then bring that foot down. If you raised it, bring your right foot down. Stretch the legs out long again, arms and hands overhead. Full body stretch. Circle the arms around, grab a hold of that left thigh, bring it in towards the chest. Flex the foot, bend the knee. And again, you can take that strap underneath the bottom of that foot and pull down, or just keeping the hands at the hamstring. All of it's perfectly where it's supposed to be. Moving that left thigh down closer to the left side of the rib cage, or towards that left armpit. And then just gently bend the right knee, right foot flat on the mat, left ankle can rest on that right thigh. Find that figure 4 on this side. Supine half pigeon pose. And again, you can just stay here, pressing into the inside of the left thigh. Or you can reach through that figure 4, grab the back of the right. Maybe become more aware of the breath as you patiently rest in this space. Right foot down, bring the left foot down, knees are bent, feet are planted on the mat, take the arms out to a T. Drop knees to right, gaze to left, little final supine twist. Back to center. Realign the hips if you need to. And then drop knees to left, gaze to right. Unwinding those final bits of tension in the low back and the spine. And then come all the way back up to center. And we're going to move into our Shavasana. So there's a couple of options. You can just stretch out long right where you are. Let the legs be heavy, arms resting at the sides, and close the eyes. Or you can place your bolster or your pillow underneath your head and do the same thing. There's an option. The other option could be that you place this bolster underneath your knees or your pillow underneath your knee. And settle back. Maybe you have another pillow for your head, right? So different options. And then a final option would be to take that nice long pillow and put one end of it at the hips and then lay back on that pillow. Stretch the legs long. Open through the heart, let the shoulders drape over the sides. So like 4 different options, right? A 5th one maybe would be to lay on your side. But gently just beginning to soften the body. Soften the thoughts between the eyebrows. Soften the heart. And maybe take a moment to bring attention to your toes and affirming the toes for how they balance our life in the actual physical body. Let the bottoms of the feet become heavy and relaxed. For all the work they do for carrying us through the day. Unwind the ankles, appreciating that hinge joint action that allows us to walk or run. Soften and release the legs and the knees that bend and rotate, allowing us to sit, stand. Releasing tension in the hips, that pelvic bowl that holds our inner organ. Supports our skeleton. Letting go of the tension and the muscles of the spine and the back. Allows us to stand straight. Gentling the rib cage that protects our heart and our lung. Those 2 organs that allow us to be in life force. Relax the shoulders that carry our burden. Engage our arms. Arms that hold our children and our loved ones, our pets. And those hands release and relax that create and spread love and energy and light. Giving softness to the neck that holds our skull, that protects our brain, that helps us think different than any other being on earth. Relax and soften all the muscles in the face. That face that holds all of our expression, joy, laughter, love, connection. Ease and softness through this wonderful body that holds our very soul. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then take your time to roll onto your side, whichever one speaks to you. Bring your knees in towards the chest. Cradling that cheek on your forearm and gently beginning to awaken the body. Pushing yourself up to seated. Eyes can be closed. Bring palms together with the thumbs at the heart. And just express gratitude for our practice. For our practice of affirming those things that we once believed were true. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take an inhale, thumbs can rest in the center of the forehead, that place of intuition. And then exhale, chin can drop to the chest. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.